My name is Lianna McDonald, and I'm the Executive Director of the Canadian Centre for Child Protection. Our organization is dedicated to the personal safety of children. We look at reducing the incidences of sexual exploitation. We assist in the location of missing children, and we educate the Canadian public about ways in which they can keep their children safe. When we look at the way in which the world has changed for young people, we are now seeing ways in which technology is being misused in order to hurt children. What we are seeing is kids using the internet in ways that may target children, may bully them, and may really look to cause harm to their reputation, their friendship circles. And so we're seeing this issue really escalate and grow with the use of new technologies. What we're seeing is today's youth are really being impacted by cyberbullying. When we look at the traditional ways in which kids were bullied in the offline world, we're now really seeing that compounded through the use and abuse of technologies. So we are seeing some kids who are being so directly targeted that it is disrupting their social relationships. It's making it difficult for them to continue on with everyday activities that we would expect young people to enjoy and go through in their lives. So we are seeing some kids who are committing suicides, kids who are contemplating self-harm. And so really this is a growing problem that we need to do more about. We are really pleased with the introduction of new legislation that will make it illegal for people to distribute non-consensual intimate images. And why we feel that this is important is when we look at some of the most extreme cases of cyberbullying, a sexual picture or video is really at the heart of that. And so what we believe is that this legislation will assist those who are being impacted. It will allow for the imagery to be removed. And I think more importantly, it will send a very strong message to others that this type of behavior is not okay. When we really look at the issue of cyberbullying, this is not about, just legislation. And I think many of us recognize, from parents to educators to those working with young people, that we absolutely need to do more in terms of public education. This requires, early intervention in teaching kids prevention about sort of building empathy skills, talking about the impacts of this sorts of behavior. We need to engage schools, we need to engage parents, and we really need to have a sort of a collective effort in our efforts to better protect kids. Our organization operates a number of programs. Well, we operate cybertip.ca, which is Canada's national tip line to report the online sexual exploitation. We also have a number of important educational resources. We have a great one called Need Help Now, and essentially Need Help Now is there to help young people who have been negatively impacted by a sexual image or video that has ended up on the internet, to teach them ways that they can in fact take some control back and get that photograph or image down. It also helps them identify safe adults in their lives and really gives them some concrete coping skills so that they can sort of take some control back and help themselves in these types of very, very devastating situations. I think when we really deconstruct the issue of cyberbullying, we tend to think of bullying as really kids just being kids and kids misbehaving. What we have really seen with the evolution of technology is often this type of behavior is not just about kids being kids. It really transcends into criminal behavior. We see harassment, we see extortion, we see threats. And so it's really important that we understand that when we're trying to address this complex problem, we have to have some very solid solutions that will help us do that. The Canadian Centre for Child Protection would like to applaud the Government of Canada for really providing great leadership and understanding fundamentally that kids need to be better protected when we look at their lives, whether it is on the online or offline world. We see legislation that was just recently tabled, a really important step in terms of helping kids, better protecting communities, and sending a strong message that, kids have the right to a great childhood, and this sort of legislation will help them do just that.